Okay, I've just tested my stuff. I can't hear you though for some reason.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you now. Okay, I think we're live.
Yeah, we're live. I wasn't speaking anything prior to this.
Oh, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How is everybody? Wow, there's so many people. There's a chat going on as well. Hello. Oh, that's from you. So, how are you?
We're all good. How are you? How's the weather in London?
The weather in London's really strange. It's warm, but it's raining, so it reminds me of Mumbai. So it's a little bit weird, but it's nice. It's nice weather. We should be grateful.
We could be indeed. Plus, London is a beauty. So,
Yeah, that is there.
right,
So is Mumbai, so is Delhi, so is or loads of places in India, just to say.
right. That's a mutual feeling coming from your side from London and coming from our side from Delhi and Mumbai and Assam and Gujarat,
Everywhere.
everywhere. Right. So, Ishwarya, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Laiba. Very good evening to everyone. There is a powerful driving force inside every human being that, once unleashed, can make any vision, dream, or reality into a desire. I, Aishwarya Nair, on the behalf of entire team of Avas Foundation, extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to one and all present here. We at Avas Foundation envision the world as a just and equitable place where the underprivileged no longer feels directionless. We aim to bridge the gap of inequality at all levels through optimistic spirit and our unwavering efforts. As we know that June is the Pride Month, it is a month dedicated to the LGBTQ community all around the globe. The Pride Month is celebrated in commemoration of the Stonewall riots, which kicked off the first major demonstration of gay rights in America. But unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic and social distancing still in place, things will be a little different this year. But we believe all these things shall not hinder the celebration, and therefore we will be celebrating Pride virtually this year with our esteemed guest speaker who has joined us today. I would now like to invite Ms. Laiba Rahman, founding trustee of Avas Foundation, to address the gathering. Over to you, Laiba.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I would like to extend a hearty welcome to everyone for joining us for this Pride Month celebration. In fact, on behalf of the Avas Foundation team, would like to thank Mr. Randy Kumar for joining us today. uh, we all know that gay pride or LGBT pride is the promotion of the self-affirmation, dignity, and increased visibility of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people as a social group. Pride, as opposed to shame and social stigma, is the predominant outlook that bolsters most LGBT rights movements. But we're happy to organize this webinar as a means to promote this, to have a platform to discuss about the diverse dialogues being presented to us, because we believe that this is an imperative topic for all of us. I would from my heart like to thank Mr. Andy Kumar for joining us. He was the finalist. He was in the top 5 of Big Boss season 7, and it is a privilege to have been hosting him over here right now with us. I would also like to thank our sponsors, Mr. Sarthak Sharma from Caplots, a specially curated fashion brand, for their support and helping us organize this session. Mr. Andy, over to you.
Over to me. Okay, well, hello everybody. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be a part of such a great movement, and I think it's really important. Obviously, I think being one of the first openly gay television presenters in India ever, I think it's important to talk about what you. I mean, my philosophy about being yourself, intrinsically do what you want to do to get ahead in life and to be happy with your life is more important to me than your label that you give yourself or labels that people put you on you or boxes that you're put in. I've never, in fact, look, I'm wearing this t-shirt today because there's so many boxes here, but my box is human. And I think it's so important that we realize whether you're gay, bisexual, transsexual, third gender, anything, you're a human at the end of it. Everybody is human. Everybody should be treated equally, should have everything they want in the life that makes them happy, that gives them a full life, and whatever that life is. I don't think we have the right to judge each other. that doesn't mean that that it's not going to happen, because honestly, again, we're human, so that's what people do. But I think it's really important to be steadfast in what you believe in, and know that any belief, whether it's religious, whether it's about orientation, whether it's about your lifestyle or your life choices, it's up to you, and you've got to be free to choose what you want to do in this life, to live your best life. And that's all. I basically, my mantra has always been, from I think a very young age, is live, laugh, live, laugh, love. Simple, really simple. Any, I feel like I should keep talking. Tell me, Laiba, what should I do?
So so this is basically, to discuss about how, okay, so you just mentioned that you were the very first person who openly said that, probably, like, you know put forth of what you actually are. So did you ever feel that people would object you, being a part of the LGBTQ community, or did you ever feel that people would have a problem, and they probably opposed you with some, with some thoughts they had in mind, just on the basis of your belongingness to the community?
Hmm. I think it's a very important question. When I first came to India from London, I came from a very open society where everybody can be what they want to a certain level. I'm not saying there isn't homophobia over here. I'm not saying there isn't small-mindedness over here. It's everywhere. It's not just in different parts of the world. It's everywhere. So, but there's, I think, different levels of it, I guess, of how open people are about their views, about sharing it with each other. Now, I think when I first came onto the scene in 2000, I think, what, 5 or 6, it was a different time. Social media was just about beginning. Facebook was requesting us to open Facebook accounts. So it was very different at that time. People were not openly available for people to say whatever they want to you, Like, so when I was on Channel V, when I first started, Facebook wasn't really around. So the way people could connect with you was meeting you. At that time, there was autographs being given. There wasn't selfie culture. So it was a different time. But that time was also a very small-minded time within the industry, where if you were not anything other than straight, there was going to be difficulties for you to, first of all, get onto television, get into film. There was a lot of barriers that you have to break, glass ceilings that you have to smash through, just to be able to do what everyone thinks is normal, like present a TV show. A normal thing like that can be so hard for someone who doesn't have any backing, doesn't have any Bollywood money, doesn't have any Bollywood farm family. So, someone coming from England doesn't even know the country. So I'm just trying to give you an idea of, like, when I was there. But I had this immense self-confidence, which I still have. I had this self-belief. I have a grounding in who I really am, where I come from, when I say that, I mean, a lot of you might have seen my mom on Big Boss when she came. So I think a lot of people at the time was really surprised to see my mom as a very normal, working class Punjabi mom. And that is me. I mean, you know what I mean? That is where I come from. And I've never shied away from who I am. So this idea that I'm from London and I'm this rich kid and that's not true. It's a fallacy. I'm not one of these rich kids. I'm a working class guy. Before I left school, I was working at McDonald's through a drive-through, serving McDonald's. I worked in Starbucks as a server. I worked as a waiter all through my university. I danced in nightclubs at university to pay the bills. And then when I came to India, it was because I had a passion for choreography. I was a choreographer through and through. I went to dance school. And I did a lot of music videos that maybe you guys know, like Kaliyon Ka Chaman, Kanta Laga. These are the kind of videos I did first when I came to India. And it was just my pure luck that I met the right people. I worked, and then I met another person, a very special person to me, Sheetal Sudhir, who was the creative director of Channel V. She was a friend of mine, and one day she was like, "Hey, you should be on this channel." And I was like, "Don't be stupid. I can't be on this channel. I'm a choreographer. I'm serious about my career." And she was like, no, I think you should do this. And my first shoot that I ever did, it was horrible. It was so bad. I cried when I came home. I called her up. I came to meet this boss now of mine and said, listen, I can't do this. It's not happening. I'm shit. It is shit. I'm not doing this. So that was a journey for me in itself, just to get to the beginning. So I think a lot of people at that time were not open to having someone from the community or from a different community out there. There was a lot of I can't say homophobia, but there was a lot of objection to what I should do, what I can do, and what I should wear, what color my hair should be. Because I remember back in the day when no one was coloring their hair, my hair was white and green and blue and pink and all of these colors before anyone ever colored their hair in India, I guess. And I used to wear suits with shorts. So there was a lot of styles and trends that I was bringing, I guess, to India that weren't there yet, you know. But there was objection. There was a lot of feeling of not acceptance, you know, of who I am. But I was always steadfast in who I was, and I was like, I ain't changing for nobody, and I don't care. And the other thing is, if I'm not successful because of who I am, then that's on you guys, because I'm not going to change me to and I think that's the thing that makes me successful, is that I am not someone who's happy to just be you or copy someone. I need to be me, like authentically. I can't pretend to be somebody else. It's just too much hard work. It's too much hard work to pretend. I can't lie. I'm not a good liar. I do white lies, but not black lies, because you can't remember. I can't keep grudges. You know, if someone's done something bad to me, I'm like, forget it. I can't be bothered, you know, like, and so that kind of thing filters into social media. So when we started on social media, there was a lot of abuse online from get-go. So I've been abused online ever since Facebook has been created. That's the truth of it. Even today, I'm sure if I go onto Instagram, I mean, my Instagram and my FB account was hacked the last Big Boss season. So I don't have, all my followers have gone from there. And I guess I can't hold a grudge. So I'm kind of going, you know what, I'll just start again. And if I get whoever I get now, if I've got 1,000 followers or 2,000 followers or whatever, but you know, they're quality followers because they actually want to follow me. You know what I mean? They're not millions of followers that I paid for. And I'm fine with that. And I'm okay. Like, I don't understand this race of we must have the most followers. And the truth is, most of the celebrities have got these PR agencies that buy these followers, and we're all like, whoa, 2 million, 3 million. And I've been told by my publicist, chalo hum bhi kar lete hain, karo, itne paise mein itna milenga. You know, I'm like, I don't want those followers. Who are these people? So I'm literally making it organic. Even my YouTube, I think we're at like 20,000 followers or something. But again, it's organic, and I'm fine with that. And if it grows and it keeps growing. Oh, by the way, everyone, follow me on Instagram. Get a plug in there. Instagram is Andy Kumar World. It's a new one.
I actually got
Might as well.
I actually really got confused because I thought I was very firm that you'll be having like so many followers. I thought that, am I texting in the wrong account? But then I searched.
This is the thing.
I actually was bewildered because
anyway, so let me talk about social media, because social media is really important, because I think we're getting online cyberbullying on a next level. And I just want to say to everybody watching right now, whether they're watching live, whether they're watching it recorded, guys and girls, and they, them, others, anyone who is watching right now, I want you all to know something. If you're getting online abused, you have a choice. You don't have to listen to it, because it's all their own insecurities they're throwing on you. Don't listen. I don't listen to it. If someone abuses me online, that's on them. It's on their upbringing. Upbringing ke gaya, you know, that Big Boss thing. But it's the truth. You're showing your parents down. You're showing who you are. If you're going to swear at someone, it's very easy to be behind a blank canvas and just shout abuse at people. But it's very difficult to actually come out and be who you actually want to be without any stops. And that's what I do. And I want everyone to be who they want to be. But talking more about acceptance. Now, when I finished Big Boss, now Big Boss was such a big game changer for me, because I went into people's homes for 3 months, but everybody's homes, you know, because I think that those seasons of Big Boss was watched quite significantly by a lot of people across the world. so that was a game changer. But what I feel, a lot of people accepted me a lot more after they got to know me on there. They were like, this guy's actually a good guy. He's a nice person. He has good values. He's not just someone who has sex with men. He has more to him that actually we like, and our mothers like, and our grandmothers like, our grandfathers like, the children like. What is this now? And there was a more acceptance of who I am because of that, because they got to know you. So I think that's a really important learning for me, is that when people get to know you, it doesn't matter then after that, all these other things. Once people get to know you, they're like, oh, 1 second, this is actually a good person. And then everything else, that's why I said human. I think it's really important that once you get to know a human, it doesn't matter who they are, what they do, how much they earn, what they eat, how much they sweat, how much, how many spots they have on their face. None of that matters. What matters is we like who you are, and that's all. And that's what I guess I felt from the audiences at that time. But then beyond that time, there's another political agenda that's going on. Okay, I'm not talking about the government and stuff. When I say political, I mean within the workforce. So after Big Boss, I did a lot of shows where I'm hosting these big shows, and it's great. But there was a lot of politics at play. There's a lot of I've missed opportunities to host big shows because of my sexuality, and that is the truth of it. And I think it's really important to talk about that, the fact that even after people think you've made it and you're this established face, it doesn't stop. The journey continues. There's no, even a Shah Rukh Khan today sitting at home not making many films. He's one of the biggest superstars of the world, but he's not making any films right now that don't work, actually. So anyone, no matter how high they get, they can fall. But also just not from whether they fall, but it's also the opportunities that people don't give you because of what they're thinking again about you. So that again comes to discrimination. I have been discriminated against to get bigger opportunities that I really think I deserve, because I've put my time in. I didn't become famous overnight. It took me 10 years of really hard work and dedication. And when I got there, I did great work, and I've been doing good work. Luckily, I'm one of those people that just gets work from different places. Like right now, I'm in London. I've just finished 2 films over here. One of the films, I'm playing a drag queen. Woo! So that was interesting. It was really fun. I haven't played drag queen on screen before, and so I think that made me do this character that I'm doing on YouTube at the moment, which is a Sasuma character. So it's basically coming from me and my mom sitting there watching the serials, because she loves to watch all of them, every single one. So in my house, it's like it is playing all the time. So it really gets to me because the storylines are so regressive, and these serials are showing that we are female empowering, but they're not. They're archaic, patriarchal, bakwas. And that's the truth. That's what I'm feeling when I watch these shows. And so this is so my YouTube show, Serial Hoto Esa, is basically my my kundas with this industry. And so I think I'm going to be doing more of those. And I have to give you another thing. There's a film that's been offered to me where they want me to play this Sasuma character. So that's gonna be super fun. So basically, I'm having super fun right at the moment with these things. But yeah, when it comes to, has it been difficult being openly gay in India and in the industry? Hell yes, it has. Because there's also this other side of the coin that no one talks about, the dark side of the coin, where people come and give you handshakes, and they do this thing with their finger like this in there. And it's like the most disgusting thing that's ever happened to me. Where you get these really big, I'm not going to mention any names, of course, but really big directors and producers who think because you're gay, you're easy and you're just going to sleep with them. And very quickly, they realize that I'm someone who just went, what are you doing to my hand? Why are you doing this? And they're just like, whoa. I mean, I come from a place where I'm very open, and with that, it's dangerous. it's dangerous to ask me things because I would just say what it is. As I said before, I have no okay, I've got some chats over here. Deepali Chaudhary to everyone will definitely do. What she's gonna definitely do. Ajita Sharma, yes, we follow you, sweetie. Oh, thanks for following me then. And Somya Vig says, vote for Andy. Vote for like, but I don't know. Should I like join Rahul Gandhi or something and just like start getting vote for Andy going again? Follow, yes. Okay, so back to you, Laiba. I think I'm just waffling now.
No, that's in fact, coming out with your actual experiences without, trying to script that out into a speech, that's more real. So, right. So, we'll be taking a few questions. Um, all those who wish to ask a question. Okay, there, that's very quick. All right, Hina, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Andy. A very warm welcome to the webinar, and it's a pleasure to have you here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I'm just wondering if I can make you bigger so I can see you. I don't know how that works.
On the right hand side in the upper corner, like extreme right hand side, over
It
there.
says
Just click on
view,
the
but it says,
screen.
Yeah, click on view. Click on view.
Yeah,
oh, here we go. Hello.
yeah. Hi Andy. It's a pleasure to have you here and listen you. So my question is so you must have faced a lot of challenges in your life during your career and while you're working with different firms and different organizations. So I just wanted to ask you one thing, like what is your mantra for, to face all these things and just move ahead? Like suppose you have a low point in life, and what is your mantra to just leave it and just just move
You
ahead?
know, other more than a mantra, Hina, it's been more like I am very lucky because I have a very supportive, loving family who's very close to me. And when I say that, I mean, like I've lived in India for 20 years, but we've been so close throughout, like it's not like I just left and then I'm gone. Like honestly, like I was here doing a film in just before lockdown. I think it was December, January, February of 2019, 2020, just before we got into this pandemic. And so we'd finished this film and I was at home when the pandemic went down, and I was so lucky because my mom doesn't live with anyone anymore, so I moved back to London to be with my mom so that my mom's on her own, so that I live with her now. And I think that's how close we are because um we're there for each other. So when we are having these low points, I think for me it's been really a boon from God that I have this really strong, beautiful family, and I have this very strong matriarchal family because my mom is the matriarch of our family, and she is she's the driving force because she's also she's one of those people that have taught me to be so adventurous and be so forthcoming and go for what you believe in. I've always had that. So I do believe that when I've spoken to people who don't have that, I value this more. So, honestly, like this pandemic has been a low period for me. I haven't really done much. I mean, I reviewed Big Boss last season from home, and luckily now I'm started getting films in London. So I'm telling you, I'm blessed. I am super blessed. Like something just, like work just comes to me. I'm a magnet for work. And I think it comes from this whole belief in yourself. I think it comes from just even at that moment when you're the lowest point, just look within, feel it, and know that things will get better. And things all okay, got it. My mantra, this is what I always say to myself when I have that moment. I always say, things always work out for the best. They always do. And if you believe that, like if you like just hold on to that, I believe that it will just take you through.
Yeah. That's really really nice to hear from you that you lift up yourself from within and you just believe in positive mindset for things. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really hard work though. That's a hard thing because a lot of, like it's hard to stay positive when a lot of, like, for instance, now I'm in London. I'm missing my friends in Mumbai. I'm missing Mumbai because I've lived there for 20 years. I'm missing working all the time, So there is, I mean, I'm saying that now, and I'm literally going into a new film from the 1st of July, and we're in pre-production right now. So I know I'm going to go bonkers again. But there's been this whole kind of, but there's been this whole kind of year, I guess, of just sitting here feeling sorry for myself, going, "Mujhe ek show karna hai." Like I want to do a show. I want to be doing something. You know what I mean? Like I want to do something. Like I'm bored. Well, I'm not bored. I never get bored. I always find something to do. So that's a lie. And I don't get bored. But I definitely do something. But I'm like, but what I did, I used my time when I had, like, free time. So I've got 2 concept notes together for shows that I want to produce. So something happened over this pandemic when I was like, "Tu produce kar." To producer ban. And I just realized something, that I think it's really important to keep pushing yourself from within like that, to grow, to keep becoming bigger. And now I've realized that the next stage or step for me, I need to figure out how to produce my own shows, whether I'm in them or not. That's a separate thing, but I want to produce good work that I think that needs representation out there, because there isn't a lot of, I mean, how many other gay television presenters are there? How many? I don't know many. I mean, I'm saying gay television presenter. How many in India are there? I don't know there's many. I mean, and okay, let's say even better than this, good gay television presenter. That's even more like, this is how much self-confidence I have. It's really stupid, but hey. But thanks, Hina.
But yeah, it's good that during the pandemic also you got such a beautiful idea to come up with something new, and I wish you all the best for the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope you watch it when it comes out, because
Yeah,
I am doing it no matter what.
yeah, why not?
All of us will surely will surely watch your movie. That's for sure. Um, because we've heard so much from you. So even if 1% we never have thought that we'll watch, now we'll definitely watch. Right. So
Yay!
right. So is there anyone else who wishes to ask a question?
Can I ask a question, please?
Oh, can I know who's this? The name, I can't see your hand.
Vanshika.
Yeah, Vanshika, please go ahead.
Hi, Andy. It's a pleasure to actually listen to you because I am a huge follower. So when you were talking, I realized one thing that really settled in my mind is, like, I was watching one of your shows and you said a line when all this was not, like, people were not open or comfortable talking about it. You said that society may people have created boxes and I don't want to fit myself in one box. And I think I was not at the matlab, I was really inspired to listen to it because I was watching the show with my parents, and at that time even they were not comfortable. So you actually made people understand what truly, how to express your feelings that well. And my question to you is, like, you are the role model for a lot of people. So when you, like, does it pressurize you, like, social media right now is what you put, it influences a lot of people. So does this create a pressure on you, like you need to think, "Ki, should I put it, should I not?" Or you just like to be, just do it? Does it create any pressure on you?
Well, okay, let me tell you one thing about the boxes. I think this is, again, I'm going to go back to my t-shirt. I put these boxes on my t-shirt for a reason, because that is something that I have always believed, that no one has a right to put you in a box, and I will refuse to be in boxes. Even though
Very true.
my box that I have it's a human box, so that's a huge box, and it's got everybody in that box. So everybody's in that one big box. So I put you all in a big box. Everybody's in a one box. The Earth, if it was square. But yeah, I really appreciate you saying that, and that you heard that, and that you took something and you were inspired by that. I'm really, like, I'm super appreciative of that, and that it hit home, and it feels good. It feels great that you got that. It was amazing. And yeah, I mean, social media is a beast. Social media it can be a nasty, it's the kind of beast that you make it, I think. But yeah, when you say pressure, there is a lot of pressure what you put on Instagram or Twitter, especially Twitter. Because I think all of my political views are more Twitter. So there's a lot more discussion. Like if I don't feel right or something doesn't sit right with me, I speak about that on Twitter. Whether it's about the central government, whether it's about, and I think I'm surprised that I haven't been been taken down in India yet. I mean, you never know. It can happen anytime. You know, I don't hold my views closely to my chest. I share them, and on Instagram, I feel like people are not interested in your political agenda or your. I don't have a political agenda. That's the truth. I don't have a political agenda. I just have views that might be political sometimes. But when it comes to like sharing stuff on Instagram, I feel like everyone just wants to see these gorgeous pictures of you and this pretend life. I find it really boring, and that's why I don't really post regularly on Instagram. You might find me posting short, like what are they called, stories, because that's just fun, me being me. But then if you see my Instagram posts right now, they're all a bit sort of the photographs that photographers have taken, because all my friends have done that. So I'm just like, there's a pressure to pretend to have this life that you have. And then now recently, like I started YouTube, and I really enjoyed connecting with people on YouTube. So I had started doing the review, and then after that I did a celebrity talk show called Andy's Royalties, which I'll come back with another season at some point. I'll have to ask a whole lot of new celebrities to come on it, but I just put a full stop in that for now, and I'll come back to it. And I'm trying different types of ways of connecting with the audience and seeing what works, you know. I tried this show called Time to Talk, which was more politically led. And it was literally where I was talking to people, like I was inviting you guys, like whoever's on here, like I was inviting people on Twitter who wants to come and talk and have your say, come and talk about different things. And I spoke about homophobia. I've spoken about like different very important subjects that need to be talked about. I guess I have to just continue doing it so that more and more people start joining, because obviously a big boss has a huge following, so I was getting huge audiences. And then when I started doing my own show about political views or different society issues that are important to everybody, and I wasn't getting huge viewership, but I was still doing it. And I did about 15 episodes. And so I thought that was a nice first season, and then I'll come back and do another season at some point, you know? But I think, yeah, social media does put pressure on you. And I think I want everyone out there, whoever's watching this, you know, whoever's watching it from anywhere at any time, don't feel that, don't feed it. Don't feed that beast, because it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Don't feed into the lie. Instagram is a lie, guys. We need to realize it's a lie. And people on there, some of them live in the gym and they have these rippled abs and they have these great boobs and they have these, you know, whatever. They have all these amazing things, but they have it for that one shot, and some of them after that don't look like that because they just have it for a moment. And even I have a couple of photographs of me when I had washboard abs and rippled abs, and I had a full photo shoot done. So if I keep posting them idhar udhar ke, everyone will be like, "Arey, auntie ka physique, wow," you know. But it's not true, because right now, I was in a car accident on the 10th of March, and someone hit the back of my car, and my car was standing. Luckily, it wasn't as bad as that, but my back got really screwed, and I had to go and see a proper chiropractor for a long time. And I'm thinking, I've had a month break now. I'm going to start going back to the chiropractor. But I started my gym now, but after 2 months. So I put on I don't know how we put on so much bloody weight. I put on 10 kilos. And again, that's another pressure. Now, if I put things on Instagram and stuff where I'm 10 kilos heavier, where people are not used to seeing you in a heavier weight, there's a lot of abuse of that. There's a lot of fat shaming going on. There's a lot of oh, you've put on, you used to look good before. And it's like, what's wrong with you people? And who gives you the right to judge this? You don't know what I've just been through and whatever, you know. And to me, I don't feel very comfortable in this weight, because It's just for me. Like, but I'm confident, like if I wanted to like date someone and they didn't want to date me because I was 10 kilos heavier right now, I would be like, I don't want to date you. Like if that's important to you, then that's not the kind of person I want to be with. You know what I mean? So that doesn't bother me like in life, but generally like I like to fit into my really nice clothes, the ones that the expensive clothes that I've worn and that I own, and I don't want to ruin them, so I've got to get back into them. And it's literally that. It's like it's like cost effective method. Lose weight, wear your nice clothes again, don't buy new clothes. So literally that's why I need to lose, otherwise I wouldn't be losing weight. If I could just, I mean, no, that's not true. I don't know, like, you know, you feel comfortable at a certain weight, whether that's a large weight, it's a small weight, that's up to you. You choose that. But for me, I have a particular weight that I'm happy at. So I want to go back to that, but not for anyone, not for Instagram, not for, you know, a sexy hot god man, or, you know, no, I want to do it for me. So I feel amazing. That's all. But yeah, so that saying that, I'm actually working on this. Okay, from Monday, I'm gonna start recording my weight loss journey because I just thought, why not? I'm gonna be doing this diet, this particular crazy diet that's happened, and I'm gonna do it from Monday, and I'm gonna do it for 1 week and see how much I lose. And if I lose like significant amount of weight, I might do it for longer, like maybe 4 weeks. And let's see what happens. See, this is the kind of content I think I want to put out there now. This is the kind of stuff, because I think it's going to be real. It's going to be me being me, rather than me pretending to be this idea that you have of me, which is this suit wearing, tie, this, that, you know, and running around Channel V. That is gone. That is no longer me. It was never me. That was just Channel V's VJ Andy. Now, Andy Kumar, he is this. I'm sitting in shorts right now. Let me show you. I don't know if I can show you. Can you see? I'm just sitting in normal shorts with a t-shirt in my room. Like, you know, so it's just, I mean, I love this backdrop because in my head, I'm out of this world. So I just thought, chalo, let's get out of this world. I'm sorry, I do waffle a lot. Any other thing you want to ask me?
No, that's
Thank you so much, Andy. And I'll be waiting for the diet because I think I'll be looking forward to it the most right now.
Yeah, but this diet is really weird. Okay, I'll tell you. It's have you heard of Slim Fast?
No.
Exactly. So India, they might, like, I think Slim Fast is gonna pay me money. Like after this, they're gonna be like, "Are we got a full India to give Slim Fast to." So there's this thing called Slim Fast. Okay, it's been, I think it's been here since the 80s. Avi went on YouTube and I just said Slim Fast pe kya ho raha hai types, and I saw some people and they're losing like 2 kilos a week and stuff, and I'm like, kya? And I'm starting a film on the 26th of July. So from the 1st to 26th is like what, 3.5 weeks, and I have to lose this weight. So I'm just like, So I would not do this long term. I'm just doing it for this period and seeing, does it work? And how mentally tortured do you become through it? You know, like, that's the most important. Like, I love my food. I love my desserts. And that's why I go to the gym twice a day. Like, normally in the morning, I'll go swimming, or I'll go running, or I'll do something in the morning. And in the evening, I do a class called Body Pump, which is like pretty out there. Like, it's a proper hardcore muscle building big workout, you know, and we do like 360 squats in it, and you do like it's crazy. It's a crazy, and I love that class. It's one of my favorites. In fact, I'm going there today also at 5 o'clock. So I've started back in the gym, thank God. But the thing is, like, I used to go twice, but you know, the reason I work out so much is because I know the amount that I eat, or the things that I eat, they just make you put on weight. I'm a Punjabi. My mom makes parathas 5 times a week, you know, and I will eat them 5 times a week if she makes them 5 times a week. Like, how long is my mom going to be here for? I want to enjoy them. I am not. And that's why I'll work out thrice a day, but I'll eat what I want. So let that be a lesson to everybody. Eat what you want.
we can eat, but And not everyone has the same capacity to go to the gym twice. Not me, at least. I don't know about.
Once you start doing it, it happens. Once you start, then you get used to it. Like this whole 2 months, this last 2 months, when I've been sitting at home because of this accident, I've been like, every time I go to my chiropractor, can I go to the gym today? He's like, no, you cannot. So it becomes a little addiction in itself. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe 2-3 months down the line, I'll also be putting up Instagram posts of आप ऐसे खाइए और आपके abs मेरे जैसे हो जाएंगे. Anything is possible. I am just being honest. क्या पता कल मुझे Slim Fast एक बड़ा सा contract दे दे and I'll just be like, हाँ, Slim Fast खाइए क्योंकि Slim Fast makes you beautiful. You know, like it could be anything, right? Oh my God.
So we'll be having the next question from Miss Vaishnavi. She's from India Today. Vaishnavi, please go ahead.
Is she? India
Hi.
Today?
Yeah.
प्रेस
Hi.
वाले भी आए हैं. पहले बोलते ना, इतना नहीं बोलते फिर.
No, it's completely fine. I hope you're doing good.
I am. I'm all right. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I can't see you though.
No, I don't want to switch on my camera right now.
Oh, so you're one of those. क्या पता कौन है, ladies and gentlemen? ये कोई भी हो सकता है.
No. So anyway, so my question to you is somewhat related to, the representation of the LGBTQ community in television and the entertainment industry. So we see that LGBTQ community actors, they don't get like a wide range of roles that they can play. They have a very niche, very stereotypical sort of portrayal on screen. So do you think, and whereas heterosexual people, we have seen like a lot of heterosexual people play gay characters, but we have not seen a lot of gay or lesbian people play any heterosexual roles. So do you think that that specific stereotype or representation is changing with time now?
Honestly, I think it's a really valuable question that you've asked. It's very important. And I am exhibit A. Whenever I get offered a role in a film, it's always going to be some person, which is fine. But that's just one kind of homosexual identity, which is fine. And if you want, I don't know whether you want to call it a sissy, you want to call it like, but I empower the word sissy. I'm using it RuPaul sissy, not in a derogatory way at all. But honestly, I think the sissy gay identity is the only gay identity that is accepted on celluloid, on film and television, because that's the view of the heterosexual idea of what gay identity is. And therefore, that is acceptable. But as soon as you start diversifying the idea of what homosexuality or the homosexuality identity is, and the various amounts of people, real attitudes, real identities that make up the whole diaspora of the LGBTQIA community, they become very uncomfortable because it's not something that is understood by a lot of heterosexual identifying people. When I say heterosexual identifying people, what I also mean is, take it from me, there's been a lot of heterosexual identifying men who approach me on a daily basis for illicit sexual experiences, which I'm not up for, because I'm very old school in my ideas in that way. I believe in a monogamous relationship. That's just my choice. I'm not saying it's wrong or right, but that's just my choice. But so having these straight identifying married men or straight identifying teenagers who think that they just want to have a go, but then how straight are you? And I also find that, then obviously there's definitely a gray scale here, right? So I don't believe, this is my own honest opinion, I don't believe anyone is truly 100% gay or bisexual or straight. I just believe people are people and they will be attracted to whoever they're attracted to. So I believe there's a lot more gray scales than there are even presented today. So therefore, I come back to your question and say, the reason that we only see a certain segment of homosexuality represented in film and television today is because that is what the producers, the commissioners of work identify as a community. It is not, the community is not making work for the community, and therefore what would happen, the representation would be different. For instance, when we see a show like, what was that show called? Pilot. Oh God, I've forgotten the name. There was a show on Netflix that had a good, I think, had a good representation of homosexuality. It was very, very bang on. But I do put the blame solely on commissioners of work in India today and their ideologies of what they must represent the homosexuality identity to be. And that is my biggest problem. Like, whenever, as I said to you, I have spoken to people who are sitting in high positions, and I'm telling them that a scene shouldn't be done like this because it's not right. But they're so adamant that that is the only way they will accept it. And therefore, I have played many roles in many films as a queer identifying person that is just that one dimension. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does.
there?
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm also, I would say I'm also at blame because I don't say no to those roles. But then if I said no to those roles, then I wouldn't get any roles. So there's also that. So it's like, you have to be in the system to change the system. You have to be relevant enough for people to give a SHIT. So I think it's important that you're in the system, because now I've had this idea that maybe I need to myself work on producing content or producing shows or producing, stuff out there that represent in the right way. Maybe I stop blaming others for not producing the right work, and maybe I start taking that onus and going, hey, why don't you do what you think is correct?
Right. Right. All right. So we'll take the question. We'll take another question from Miss Anchal. Anchal, please go ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Laiba. Hi, Andy. I have seen you in a lot of shows, hosting and participating. So it's a great honor to see you live here and interact with you. Well, the way you have been interacting so far has been extremely, I would say, impressive for all of us present here, because the way you've presented yourself with so much confidence and with, wittiness that generally people do not have. So that is really, really amazing to see.
I
Talking about
love
my
that.
question,
People do not have. Do not. Okay. Sorry.
yeah. So I personally am working in my college with the queer society, with the people who belong to the queer society. So the problem that we generally face is that the people who belong to the LGBTQIA community, they are not open to talk about this with their family or with their friends, and they generally, stay quiet. They feel that later on, after some point of time, they would tell. So how can we motivate such people during this teen age group to be more open about their identity and not to fear that they would actually people would actually discriminate, or they would make fun of them or anything of that sort? So how to motivate them and make sure that they are also belonging to the same community that is humans, as you very specifically said. So how can we do that?
Wow, I think it's great work that you're doing, and I think it's a great question. I tell you why it's a great question. It's because it doesn't have a good answer. Because it doesn't. Because the honest truth is, society is not accepting of those people. And when you're growing up and you're in that very young coming of age, at that time, you're so unconfident in who you're becoming. You don't know who you are and what you're discovering yourself. And then opening yourself up and being vulnerable in that spot when you're not really sure about anything in life, where you're going, who you are. It's a very difficult ask. You have to put yourself in their feet, in their shoes, and go, how does that feel that your parents might disown you? How does it feel that your siblings that you've grown up with, love your brothers, your sisters, may look at you differently for the rest of your life, may never look at you again with that same love that they've always had for you? Your best friends may decide that we don't want to be a part of this. So all the relationships that you've held dear in your life, all of your life, will change with one decision, with one thing. So I think we're not putting enough weight on the fact that this coming out is not easy, especially in a country like India. And actually, I'm going to scrap that, especially in a country like any country. It's the truth. It's about family structure. It's about societal acceptance. So the thing is, when I was growing up, I grew up with a very, very, very strict Punjabi mom, but not to me because I was the youngest. You know, you get that. But she was very strict with my mom, my brother, my sister. But when I was younger, she wasn't as strict with me because I was the youngest and it was like the last of the lot, you know? So she changed her attitudes. But what I realized, what happened with mom and I, we became friends very early, from an early age. And we became friends. And by becoming friends, what happened is I opened up her mind a lot to different ideologies and different ideas. And I educated her in what I see the world to be. And she was open to seeing that because of the love that we shared. So anyone out there who wants to come out, I think the first bridge is to befriend your parents, is to make them see you as a friend. See, and when I say a friend, the reason I say a friend is then you become a peer. Then you're not under and in control, but you're a friend, and that person understands you to a different level and go, okay, so this friend of mine, not my son, not my daughter, this friend of mine, this is how my friend is. And somehow acceptance can come there. But not everyone is like that. There are some parents who just will never allow that. They will never allow that relationship to develop that way because they are stuck in societal ideologies that don't service this relationship. We can't blame them because that is how that's how they are made up. So I think it's a very difficult question. Until we don't fix society's idea of what is acceptable, we can't expect teenagers to openly come out and completely change their lives forever. So I think it's a double whammy fair. That's why I said it's not a good answer. The answer is it's us as a whole, as human society. We have to be more accepting. Like, honestly, look, in Europe right now, I think Hungary has just come up with a new law where they don't want any kind of propaganda in schools about any kind of homosexuality, which I think the European Union leaders, 17 top leaders of different countries have come together and said to Hungary, if you want to have this law, then you have to leave the EU because we don't believe in that. Russia has got an anti-gay propaganda law. Countries in Africa have many of these laws. When Trump was in the USA, I mean, it was pretty anti-LGBT as well. So I'm saying every country in the world, needs to work together right now. Needs to work on their societies to be open and acceptable. And only then we can expect it to be an easy transition to tell your parents whether you're gay or not.
All right. Can I ask a follow-up question if that's allowed?
Go ahead. I mean,
I'm
just make it very short and brief because
Yeah,
give
yeah, yeah.
positive
All right,
step,
all
please.
right. Okay, so there is this Pride Month parade that happens every year in Vienna, that's Austria. So does
Mhm.
these kind of events actually help in promoting the rights of the community? So if something like this actually starts in India, will that be a useful step towards the community's betterment?
Well, I think there is a pride parade that happens in Mumbai every year. I've been to it a few times, unannounced. Like I haven't gone there to do a band baja barat type of thing, but I went there just because I wanted to support. But yeah, we do have one in Mumbai. I think there's one in Delhi as well. So it's already happening. But I think that yeah, Pride Parade started, I think, in New York, and then it came to London, and then, you know, like it's a movement that happened. And I think a lot of, LGBTQIA community take it for granted. This is the other flip side. Let me just talk about that. So I think there's also this kind of community that's growing up today that have this openness of, and talking about LGBTQI. And I think maybe not India and other countries like India, but more so in the Western Hemisphere, you have a complacency in LGBTQI people who are now going, oh, actually, they've forgotten all of the struggle that their yesteryear people had taken up to get them freedoms. So there's also that going on, where I see you know, a gay guy or a lesbian or who are very dismissive of the whole pride movement, who they're like, yeah, pride, whatever. And it's like, well, actually, no, pride is such an important movement, and it needs to keep going. Like you said, there are places in the world where there are not pride parades that are accepted. I think what a pride parade does is it allows the community to come together over an issue that is taboo to talk about and to celebrate it. So I think it's very, very important. And yes, that will in turn help people's mental awareness and acceptance of a community, and go, well, one second, these people are having a great time right now. They're just like us, you know, so, and they're accepting of each other. So I think it would be amazing that if every state in India had a parade, it would be amazing one day to see that every state has that acceptance. So I think it's also measuring a society by seeing if they can allow it. So that would, I think it's important, and I think it does help awareness and acceptance in society.
Right. Thank you, Andy. Right. So we'll be having last two questions. Right. So Bhavanshi, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, Laiba ma'am. Andy sir, it's a pleasure to talk to you here. And my question for the same is that, as you yourself said, that, you know, being an established face itself, you face a lot of hatred, you face a lot of abuse, maybe it be online only. So there are a lot of people who are scared because of that only to come out of the closet and, you know, declare their sexual identity. So what will be your advice to those people to, you know, be confident about it and be a bang on that, okay, I am this, and I'll tell the society about it and be open about my sexual identity. So what will your advice to those people?
I think it's really important to understand something, that not everybody is the same, whether they're from LGBTQI, you know, or whether they're heterosexual, whether they're from Mars. Everyone's different. So we can't make everybody be confident. We can't make everyone be like we need them to be, to accept themselves. Some people are going to struggle with their identity, and we have to being accepting of that even some people now, okay, let's think about this. Now, there's some people who live in these big families, extended families. They have an ideology कि बेटी की शादी ऐसे होनी चाहिए, वैसा होना चाहिए, ऐसे होना चाहिए. And they have these ideologies that make up this family, and this is milestones that are celebrated in people's lives. So it's a birth, it's a marriage, it's a death, right? Like, simply. So all of those things have to happen. And a lot of these traditional families, whether they're not so traditional also, whether they're modern traditional, because in India, there's again that whole, you know, amazing amount of people who have different ideas, but have modernity as well as traditional attitudes. So, you know, there's so much of a mix there. But we can't expect people just to come out and say, I am me, accept me, because it doesn't work for everybody. Some people need to find their freedom in different ways. And we have to understand that we have to be accepting, and we have to allow for that. We can't keep pushing our ideas on them, like how they should react. Like, I tell you what, there's a friend of mine, okay, she's straight, she's an actress, and she was very successful. I won't say her name. She's one of my best friends, and she was, you know, big heroine. And then something happened where I just realized she stopped working, and she is refusing to come back, refusing. And I don't understand it, and it frustrates me. It really frustrates me. I'm like, kya kar rahi hai? Camera, like the cameras want to photograph you. You're on the red carpet with me. Just do solos. Do them. No, I don't want to. And it frustrates me inside because she is talented. She is beautiful. She could be back where she was, if you like, if not more, like, but she won't do it because she doesn't have the confidence in herself anymore. And I realized that I had to accept that. I had to accept that in her journey of her life, this is where she is. And no matter what I think, what I do and make her do, not do, she won't do it. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I think it's important we be accepting of this, because there's different personalities will deal with different things in different ways. And she taught me that. And now, recently, she told me she doesn't want to have a baby. And then I was like, what? Why? Because I don't understand it. But then I sat back and I was like, 1 second. It's your life. You have to live it the way you want to live it. And if you don't see yourself with children, you're not that maternal type of person. I can't topo my ideas on her, right? Whether this is not the reason I took this example of a straight woman, successful, doesn't want to have a baby, whatever. Because it doesn't matter about sexuality then. It comes down to personality types. It comes down to life choices. We have to be accepting of everybody, no matter what they choose.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was really a different.
I think I should become a mantri or something. I'm feeling it. I should, like, we should let's start a LGBTQI party or something.
Mantra, yeah.
It would be awesome. We'll probably get bombed.
Yeah.
We have rainbow flags.
Okay. So it was, thank you so much. It was a really different, notion of accepting. We have the very different notion of accepting things, but this was certainly a different notion to accept things that people don't want to do. So thank you so much.
This is the thing. You have to be. This is the thing. I've learned this from I used to live with a girl for 15 years, and she also taught me a lot of things. Like if she's not gonna pick up her clothes from the floor in her bedroom, it's okay. I'm like borderline OCD. My house has to be really clean. Like I'm not OCD. I shouldn't say that because that's actually a very, very, again, a very that's a problem with some people. So I'm not trying to be dismissive of it. But yeah, I like everything clean. But I lived with a woman who was the opposite of me for 15 years. Just imagine the patience you need to be like, it's okay, and I'll pick up that cup. I don't mind, and then I'll get this from the kitchen. I don't mind. And it actually taught me that you have to be so accepting of people. When you love someone, you got to just let them be who they are, and then they'll be the happiest, and you'll be the happiest, because then there'll be no tension.
So true. Right. So we'll be having I'm actually a little it's not on my favoritism, but yeah, the next question we'll be having is from Vedant. Please keep it short and crisp.
Yeah, all right. Hi. I'll not be, able to switch on my camera, but still I have a question for you.
Sure.
In a professional environment, two people face problems. How do you think one can, promote positive and healthy surroundings?
As I said before, acceptance is the key. Acceptance is everything. If you accept someone as they are, you're going to have very little conflict with that person, because conflict comes from when you can't accept somebody, right? At the end of the day, if you accept someone is going to come and talk at you and bore you for half an hour every day at work, just deal with it, smile and go, this is going to happen and I'm going to allow it. If you go, I'm not going to allow it, he keeps talking shit at me, and oh my God, I haven't even eaten, then you're going to have all those problems, but you're going to have them, not him. Simple. It's really simple. I'm like this, there are some people who really, okay, I'm going to tell you something. This new production that I'm working on, one of the ADs, really irritating, like next level. They want to teach you everything, and you're like, I've been working for 20 years, and what you're trying to teach me, I knew that before you were born, like, so just shush. But I don't say anything. I just go, and I'm not listening. I'm just not allowing it to penetrate, but I'm just giving him what he needs. And then I move away. And I don't remember what he said. And I don't care also. I'm just moving on with my life. And I'm not allowing that person to ruin my peace. Simple.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Right. This is last. I am really, really sorry for taking your time. Right. So we'll take it.
It's okay. I mean, I'm not, it's lunch in 15 minutes. So it's okay. Don't worry.
That's really kind of you. Right. So we'll have one last question from Piyush. Piyush, please go ahead.
Hello, sir. So just want to know what was your journey when you came out in front of your parents, and how the society reacted to when you came out with your parents, and how did society react with your parents in general? I just want to know their.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, so I was probably 17, and I probably, look, I was a very late sexual developer in the understanding of, I was a dancer, and as a dancer, you kind of just are more sort of free with you and your body and everything, but sexually and understanding sexuality, I was very late to the table. So honestly, like, I wasn't one of those like 12, 13-year-olds who knew about sex and understood it. I think I had an elongated childhood, if you like, you know what I mean? In the way that I was working from 15. So I was busy working, I was busy in education. I wasn't thinking about relationships as such or having sexual encounters as such. It wasn't on my agenda at that time, at that age. So I think probably around 16 years old, I probably understood more. About 16, I was like, I think I like boys more. Like, I think that's what it is. And it wasn't a problem for me at that time as a person, just as a kid. I guess I was sitting there going, it is what it is. And then I think the first person I told was my brother, my older brother, who's 9 years older than me. So he's like a lot older. So, so that he's the older brother, and my dad had passed away when I was 13. So he's in my dad's place, if you like. So I kind of told him about it. And he kind of said to me, you just got to be who you are. And it's fine. And I was like, great. And it was literally a 3-second conversation in a car. And then he said, let's go home and tell mum. I was like, good idea. And it wasn't like a big issue. I'm being honest. I have to be honest. Like, I know a lot of people have a lot of like hardcore like stories about coming out. Mine isn't like that. Mine is really fairy, airy, and rose tinted. It's very nice. I mean, I came home and told my mom. I said, Mom, this is what it is. And she first started crying, but the kind of crying where it's like, you have to do what I tell you to do crying. It wasn't devastated, oh my God, my life has come to an end crying. Like, there's various cryings. That moms can cry in different ways. And I was like, yeah, she's just crying because she wants me to not be what I am right now, because she's not listening really. And she's just trying to go, if I cry like this, maybe he'll change his mind because he's just a kid, or maybe, you know what I mean? And I was like, just sat there, and she stopped crying in about 120 seconds. So about 2 minutes. And she was like, well, I already knew. You've been stealing my eyeliner for a year. So I was just like, yeah. So what's for dinner? It's literally like that. And then okay, now comes a bigger part of the question, Piyush, because I think what you asked more important was, how does society treat my parents after they knew that they knew? That's more important, because with me, it's just, I've been accepted since I was born for who I am, and my choices of being a dancer even would have been a bigger problem for a lot of people. A boy dancing in an Indian family, oh my God, no, you've got to be an accountant, you've got to be a lawyer. I went through that also, where my mom tried to make me be an accountant for a long time. And I was like, I literally left my schooling out of the mathematics A level and all this accounting, like boring stuff that I can't ever do. I appreciate people who do it, but I can't do it. It's just not me. And I dropped out and I joined a dance school without telling my mom. So that was a bigger problem in my life actually than coming out. But saying that, my mom has dealt with acceptance inside the house, and then outside of the house, I think for a long time, because I left my house when I was 19 years old to go to India, which people forget, because I went to India and I went to India for 20 years, like, so it's a long time. And I was over there doing all of this on my own. And I guess people, my family, my extended family, they saw me on TV being me and being very open with whoever I am. And they had to accept it because I was just doing it out there. And I didn't ask anyone if I could do it. I just did it because it was my life. I was being the best me and living my life, living the best life that I wanted. And my mom having to talk to the family was, I guess, difficult for her. She would avoid it and pretend for a long time, answering these questions or even talking about, if you noticed, I've never had an outward relationship in the press. I've never had that. I've never walked on a red carpet with a boyfriend. I've never, in fact, you'll see me on red carpets with girls mostly, I think. I usually go with a really gorgeous actress or something. Good friends of mine. I mean, I would only go with a friend. I'm not just going to go with an actress I don't know, but I just happen to have a lot of really gorgeous actress friends who are beautiful. So, and the thing is, they're going anyway. So I'm like, chalo, let's go together. It's like, ek gaadi mein chale jate hain. It's more like that rather than, and then, but it hit me like recently, like I was like, why have I never really taken a boyfriend onto the red carpet? Because any boyfriend that I've had has not been open enough to do that. So I've been respecting of that. And the other thing is, I think also I'm respecting my family to a level where I'm not throwing it in their face also. So that has choices. There are choices I've made. Like, I'm not going to take a guy and hold his hand in front of the press, because that will affect my mom and her having to deal with a lot of societal issues with her friends, with the kitty parties, with all this. So I'm like, you know what, we'll just leave that. And plus also, it comes back to the box story, right? I also don't want to be boxed into ये बंदा तो बंदे के साथ आया था रेड कार्पेट पे हाथ डाल के. I don't want that also. I don't want them to give me now, maybe like after I've been there for now, what, good however many years I've been on TV. Now I'm somewhere again established. I do this because it's all crap. Established. And maybe now if I was to fall in love with somebody that I was very serious about, and that I knew that it was like a lifelong relationship that I'm in, then maybe I would be on the red carpet with that person. But I'm not going to just be with anyone just who's, who I might be in a relationship with for 6 months to a year. Like, I don't want to announce that to the world. What I would want to announce to the world is maybe if I'm getting married, like that would be an important milestone to announce. Or, having children, that would be like I think Karan Johar's had 2 children, he announced that, right? So I think that's a great way of looking at it. So I think my mom has had it difficult at times because of the way that her society acts to this. But now, after Big Boss, things changed. That was, again, as I said this before, it changed. Now everybody knows everything about me because they've lived with me for 3 months, and it's either you accept me or you don't. And my mom is very much on the same lines, that if they accept you, great. If they don't, bahar mein jao. But it's taken time to get there.
Right. Thank you. It was great listening to you. I mean, and whenever we talk about you being there, the only one place we looked at you was reality TV shows, and now when we are actually talking to you and asking questions, and which actually root to the very existence of you as a human being first, and then a reality TV star. it makes us feel so good because there's so much to learn from you, like so much to learn from you. Every line you spoke, there was a hidden story behind it, right? So I mean, there's no amount of words as of now can express my feeling, because all of us, who are present in this meeting right now, or who are watching live, they are getting to learn so much from you, and I'm sure that they're going to overcome all their fears, irrespective of whatever obstacles they may face, right? And with this, okay, I am really sorry, but there was one question sent to me on like my private by Navshimar, would you like to ask? I just missed it and I just saw.
It's okay, no
Oh,
problem.
yeah, now if there's time, I'll definitely go ahead. Hi, Andy, first of all.
Hello.
Okay, so my question was, so we hear about gender roles, right? We talk about gender roles, what it means to be masculine or what it means to be feminine. This poses a challenge, particularly to queer folks. So how does one deal with this strong kind of heteronormativity, not only in public and professional forums, but also in our personal interactions with people?
It's really interesting. Like, there has been on so many levels, like I just kind of said about my last thing, where I tend to go on a red carpet with a woman. That's conformity to the heterosexual norm, right? That's kind of going, I should be seen with a hot, sexy woman now. And same with that woman. She wants to be seen with a man, right? So that just becomes, and I've realized that I've done it so many times. Whenever I had a film premiere, I'm always coupled with a woman. Even I was offered I think Jhalak Dikhla Ja, I went there for, I think I was there for the first 2 weeks or something, and I was dancing with a woman, and it didn't make sense to me, so I left the show. I think people don't understand why I was thrown out of the show 2 weeks in or 3 weeks in, because I'm a choreographer, so I dance. And so it was also creative issues that we had, like it didn't work. And then I was offered Nach Baliye to dance with a man, but then the way that they said dance with a man, because they have to be you have to be in a pretend relationship, or you have to be in a relationship or something, and they were like, find somebody who's going to dance with you. And I was like, well, no, why don't you ask some people? Why don't you ask? Because we know this is a pretend relationship. This is not like a real one. So now you want me to pretend someone to be my boyfriend and then come onto the show and dance. And so there was this whole kind of craziness around it. So I was like, I'm just going to bow out. I can't do this crazy. I can't. So when it comes to conforming, I've done it and I'm guilty of it. And I think a lot of people, like, it's really interesting. There's a particular trans a trans person who's from I think she's female to male, and she was in a lesbian relationship for a long time with her longtime partner. And when she went through the transition and became a man, it was funny because her girlfriend said it was crazy that the first time they went on a honeymoon, the cabin crew and everything came to them, gave them champagne, and was like, oh, you're going on your honeymoon, it's amazing. And then the thing she said was, straight privilege is real. Because if it was two women going on their honeymoon, and which they have been many times as women, they never got that kind of treatment. But as soon as it was a man and a woman going on their honeymoon, then it was, let's give them the full honeymoon vibes. But they never got that as two women. But when they became a man and a woman, they got it everywhere. So yes, it's there, and it's we can't hide from it. And I don't think we need to fight against it. What we look, I think a Gandhian way of looking at it is, you have to be accepting of it, but you have to you got to pronounce who you are to the world and not be scared of it. You got to go, this is me. And even if you do that quietly, it's fine. As long as you do it here, it'll be read everywhere. But until you don't do it here, then there's issues.
Right. Thank you so much for answering all our questions.
What is it? Nav Shimmer.
Yeah, Nav Shimmer. Yes.
Nav Shimmer, did I answer your question though? I mean, I'm kind of?
Yeah, you did. Actually, it has been a personal struggle of mine as well, because heteronormativity is not only applicable for people who look queer or are queer, but also, as women, there are a lot of gender norms which are pressed upon us, even cis women. So heteronormativity in itself looks like a very big evil to me personally, and it has caused a lot of mental health issues and stuff. So I wanted to know more about how a person like you, who's in the public eye, right, in the public domain so much, how
Well,
does it
well,
affect
well, no,
them?
Shimmer, it's really interesting. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
just jump in
Yeah.
before you finish. Is that there is this look on me? There are so many
Hmm.
times that's like I've heard people go, "Are you a woman?" And it's like, well, I have a
Yeah.
beard. I have a
Yeah.
beard, so I have very feminine voice. Like if I,
Hmm.
very feminine voice. If I'm on the phone, like last night, this happened last night. I ordered pizza for my nephews and nieces, and the guy was like, "Yes, madam," and I was like, "Well, okay." And I didn't correct him. I just said, "You know what? Either I get into this right now and make my life worse and waste my precious time on this, or I just let him believe there's a woman on the other side, and I'll just be accepting of the fact that my voice is like that, and I like my voice, and so it doesn't matter what he perceived, because he wasn't being nasty. He's just doing his job. And so when I turned up to pick up the pizza, I'm sure he was a little bit more surprised. But hey, gotta take it on the chin sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And I again would like to thank you on behalf of the whole Avas Foundation family, because it means a lot to have you here. It means a lot to host you, and it means a lot to hear such inspiring words from
Well,
your.
Laiba, I hope that at some point that this pandemic gets under control. And if anyone has been affected by the pandemic in any way, whether it's mental, whether it's financial, but I hope you all the best. I think that's really important to me. Like COVID has been a really difficult time for a lot of people. And I feel that I just want to put my blessings and good vibes to all of you guys. And hopefully everybody out there just, is able to get through this in a positive, happy way and able to like flourish after this. And I hope that one day COVID is under control so much that we're able to do this in person and
Yes,
do like
done,
a big event.
done.
Hopefully this thing will get so big, the Avaz will grow and we could do this in person. Who knows?
Sure, sure, sure. In fact, the moment you come to India, please let us know. We'll definitely have an in-person event super soon. But
I
that's
think
only
it's
possible when you
important. I
fly
think,
from London to India.
yeah, this is the thing. But I'm just I want to do that because there's two projects that I want to speak about if you allow me. One is I want to try and bring back a form of a dating show. I won't say the name. Everyone will probably know the dating show that I've done, but I want to bring back another version of that dating show. So I'm working on it at the moment. So I'm not saying it's going to come out straight away because of the COVID thing, but as soon as I can work it out, I want to go back to the dating show because I think it's important and I think it's really relevant still in today's society. We still need that. And maybe then we diversify and because I think we tried to get gay couples on Dare to Date for so long. It was just difficult, as you said, because people were not accepting of that, not allowing. Otherwise, we would have had to get actors to do it. And as soon as in a reality show you have actors doing anything, it just becomes crap. And I'm so truthful that I couldn't do it. I was like, nay, I can't pretend. It has to be real. So maybe now when it comes back in a new avatar, it could be that we get more openness from the community to join in as well. That would be great. And also there's another show that I'm working on, and it's to do with a pageant. So there's two things. So hopefully, but honestly, this year I'm chock-a-block until October. So don't expect to see anything until like February next year, like, February onwards next year, because then everything takes about 6 months. So you
We'll
guys should know.
be waiting.
But I'm telling you, I'm doing it. I'm coming back and I'm going to make sure we're represented.
Absolutely. And it's going to be a bang on.
Yeah, I hope so.
We will
Well,
all
thank you guys. I mean, I just want to see, like, how do I change this view now, I wonder?
over there, like on the right hand side.
Yeah, oh, there you go. Gallery. Okay, there's all these people. I'm just looking at you. Bye-bye, Bhavanshi. Is it Bhavanshi? Bye, Hina. Bye, Aishwarya. Bye, Kritika. Kritika didn't even spoke to me once. Bye, Lippy. Lippy, you didn't even speak to me. Bye, Piyush. Bye, Navi Sharma, Kalra. Bye, Pritisha. Bye, Kanika. Bye, Sunidhi. Bye, Akanksha Pandey. Bye, Sanya. Was it Sayana? Vidushi, Samyuvig, Divanshi, Paliwal, Sejal Jain, Divya Janana? Janana. I think Harshita Singh, Subika, Nishant Kumar, bye. And I hope I haven't missed anyone. If I've missed you, I'm sorry, but bye. But bye.
Right, and thank you
Bye.
so much for taking our time, even though our time zones don't match. But we genuinely would like to thank you.
It's fine. I'm gonna have lunch now. It's 2 o'clock in London, and my gym is in 3 hours, so don't worry. All right then, guys. Take care. Actually, I'm doing a show tomorrow. Online. I'm presenting a show online tomorrow. Laiba, what I'll do is I'll share a link with you.
Okay.
Maybe because what it is, my local area, there's this charity, and they're bringing local people, because in the pandemic it's been very difficult for talented freelance people to work. So what they're doing is they're bringing locally, I think 10 or 15 talented people who are doing different talents, and there's a little talent show locally in my town. So I'd love for you guys to see it. I mean, I'll be hosting it for them. That'll be kind of cool. So Laiba, I'll send you the link once they send it to me so that you can join.
Sure. All of us will. Bye. Have a good day.
You know, Laiba, that just reminded me of a show. There's a show that comes out called Imli. Have you seen Imli?
No, we haven't. Where is it?
No, but Bhavan, she's seen it. Bhavan, she's seen it. And there's a woman in there. Like, she goes, sure. You just did it. My mom.
I don't watch that show, so I'm sure that the lady you're talking about.
You should watch it because you could be the mother-in-law. Sure. Okay, bye. See you guys.
I look that old, but anyways.
No, not old. It's not about the age. Listen, you can play a mother-in-law being 15 years old in these things. There's some bahu which is 7 years old or something. No? What does it matter? Like, age doesn't matter in these serials. You can be any age. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Lovely to meet you all and talk to you guys, and hopefully see you in person at some point.
Absolutely.
Bye.
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 Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and looking forward to host you in other such events as well. Thank you. Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.